Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Seven weeks of esports competition here at Shenandoah University brings us to today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another esports competition here live from our arena in Winchester, Virginia. Chris Clayton joined by Kyle Dexter, or as some of you may know him as Kip from our Varsity Smash roster. Kyle, you ready to watch some Smash Bros today?
Of course, Chris. It's always a pleasure to watch Smash, especially when we have our our Academy Smash team competing tonight. I believe versus Otterbein? Is that how you pronounce it? Yes.
Yeah, the Academy team has a matchup today. After being 3-3, they will take on Otterbein. As we take a quick peek at the standings in their group, we will see that Otterbein, I believe, is 0-6. There they are, down on the right side of your screen. So what we expect, at least to be on paper, to be a relatively smooth sailing day. Shenandoah looks to jump above the 500 mark today with a win.
Yes, and hopefully we do get that win, Chris. And for Otterbein, very as much research as we try to do, we try to get as much info from as we could, and unfortunately we couldn't really find much for them. So it's going to be a surprise for both ends on how this is going to go as far as like roster decisions, like what kind of characters they're going to be running into. And yeah, this is the scary part about collegiate Smash Bros. These types of crew battle settings, it can be so hard to really research your opponent, especially if they are not super active in the scene or, in their local area maybe. It can be tough to really find competitive history on these players, and especially since I believe we are like the only school in that group that streams their matches regularly, or with the exception of maybe one, but their VODs don't go back far enough. So all that to say, we're in for a couple surprises today, right? Our team doesn't really know what to expect. We up here don't really know what to expect. But on paper, at least, with the graphic we just showed you, it looks like Shenandoah should look to bounce back today after their loss last week. That's true. But, however, I wouldn't call it guarantee just yet, because there are a lot of close calls here on this on the scoreboard. We only have one team, NKU, that is currently undefeated, and I feel like even though it's very numbers wise, it's very likely that Shenandoah will take it tonight. I wouldn't count it as guaranteed just yet. Right.
Yeah. Obviously, you got to go out there and actually get it done. Right. I talk with Kevin sometimes about execution. Right. None of what we talk about up here matters until the players are able to go out there and do it. So we will see if they're able to do it today, but I want to look back to last week a little bit. I mentioned that our Academy team here is bouncing back from a loss against Randolph-Macon. They lost 0-2 in a heartbreaker, very close series. It looked like set number 2, they might have taken it away, but with a Zelda player and a Jigglypuff really wreaking havoc on this team, they just weren't quite able to put it away.
And yeah, we did see some signs of life in Game 2 and Game 3, especially from players like Tripophobia. I believe Robot Ninja put in a solid fight as well, but, sometimes in a crew battle, you can only do so much.
Yeah, this team showed a lot of heart, right? They've clearly been through their fair share of adversity, right? With a record of 3-3, this team has, been through the ringer and come out on top and sometimes can't quite squeak out. So We'll see, right? I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and, we've talked about it a couple times that 0-6 means that they have been through a lot of adversity as well, but haven't been able to put it together. So, I mean, even with other titles, right? This is not just a Smash Bros. Thing. Your record in a group like that is not indicative of how good your team can be, right? It's so many factors coming into play, and especially because this is a team game of a fighting game, right? There's so many variables. This team could come out swinging, and our guys need to be ready for that.
Right. I feel like fighting games is one of those genres in esports where it's really like hard to say like who would win between a specific a particular set of players, because even if like one player is very is like measured to be like way better than the other, there's still like, by the nature of fighting games, is very possible for the, I guess we'll call it in this case the underdog, to just make a few correct decisions to take the game. Yeah,
and fighting games can be so overwhelmingly momentum based as well, right? We know that, if either team is able to come out aggressive early and take a quick lead, that can cause all the difference as the series goes on, right? You're going into every set with a stock disadvantage if that momentum sort of continues, and once that snowball gets rolling, we've seen what that's really capable of. We are receiving word from our production team, so we'll have a little preview of the first matchup we'll have on stream. It will be Kenza for Shenandoah University going out first on that Fox against a Cloud. How do you feel? Knee-jerk reaction, how do you feel about that matchup?
On paper, it sounds like a pretty solid matchup for Kenza, because not only does I feel like Fox is one of those characters that can really rush down Cloud, sometimes overwhelm him, because even though Cloud has that really big sword, Fox, his entire job is just to get in your face, just basically just annoy you, make sure that like you can't swing back at him, and they already had that comfortability by playing with Robot Ninja.
Yeah, and we know from our varsity squad the effects that a Falco can have, and obviously those characters are pretty similar. They certainly have their differences, but we are comfortable to watching Falco gameplay on this stream, and we expect to see some pretty strong Fox gameplay here as we load into our first matchup. Fox against Cloud. Fox, so far, taking 45 damage to start, but as little skirmishes happen toward the center of the stage, nothing too crazy. A lot of hitting shields, a lot of up Bs out of this Cloud so far.
Right. So if you once you know what the just phase through the I don't know what happened there. Once you try going for that grab, you just kind of phase through Lamp on the Cloud there, but catching that jump in with the back air, well placed from Lamp, trying to get that 2-frame with it down, so I'm not going to quite do it. But just the scary part is Cloud tried ripping the limit, potentially a limit cross slash, but the Nair interrupting it. Kenza living another day. We'll have to see how he'll make it back onto this stage, because the footstool misses the tech chase, but trying to fight this center stage. The run-up grab. How incredibly daring from Kenza here, trying to get a little tech chase going, but jump out, not going to quite do it.
Yeah, so far Kenza's kind of been struggling to find his way in, right? He's been edge-guarded pretty well. He does find the side B into center stage there, but all the way up to 145% is really not how you'd like this first stock to go. And we talked a little bit before this started about the momentum aspect of this game. You certainly love to get the first stock in a series like this, but a great roll read there by the Cloud, finding the up smash off the platform and taking that first kill.
Right, and something I'm noticing from Lamp here is they're very shield-heavy base. So they usually try to just hold shield and just wait for their opponent to just swing a move. Eventually lands on unsafe, just like that, but not quite the correct execution to get that done as Kenza gets the kill. But yeah, but in situations like that, you can't be afraid to grab. I know with a character is a big disjoint as Cloud, is very scary to grab him, but once you know they're going to play that very shield-heavy play style, it's important that you get those grabs, because even with a character like Fox, who doesn't really have any like combos or kill throws off of grabs, oh my goodness, okay, it's very important to scare them from shielding. You'll be discouraging them from shielding more, and it'll let you get those openings a lot more, I guess, get a lot more out of your opportunities with those openings, just like Kenza is. Oh, with the limited cross slash catching the jump, how unfortunate for Kenza.
Yeah, tough going off the top there for the, what's that called? A star KO where you fly into the back?
You fly across the screen. It's called a star KO. There's
Yeah.
also the one where you kind of like the character
Splat
just
on the
splats
screen,
on the
yeah.
screen. It's called a screen KO.
Gotcha, yeah. So Kenza losing their second stock here is we've kind of just struggled to see either of these players establish much of a rhythm, right? It's been little intermittent trades here and there, no particularly long combos, or it's been a lot of just, you know, going for roll reads, tech chases, stuff like that. So we'll see if that continues. So far, Cloud really maintaining control of this stage, and Kenza struggling to make his way around, but I mean, there's that shield, right? The up B out of shield and the up smash doesn't quite connect. So one more up B out of shield. This Cloud is certainly defending very well.
For sure, and I like the way you mentioned just trying to hold on to that stock. It's very important to hold on to these stocks in these situations, but you can see from Lamp trying to throw out these more panic out of shield options more than usual. They're trying their best just to keep Kenza off of them as the rage is stacking up on Kenza, but if he does get this edge guard, not going to quite do it though.
Yeah. We see both of these players now making their way back to center stage, right? Kenza up to 156%, and you said it, you really like to take that stock right about now, and sure enough, another star KO, shout out, now we know what that means. Cloud sent off the top, and this is dangerous territory. Sure enough, a quick dash attack will finish that player for Shenandoah. Kenza goes down, but without taking two stocks first.
Yeah, and if I was on the side of Shenandoah, I wouldn't think that things are bleak just yet. Kenza, very clutch from them to take that second stock there. It puts their team in a much better position, as there'll be a little more room to counterpick, as you only have to take one stock as well instead of two. Obviously, that kind of goes without saying. But as far as Shenandoah goes, I'm looking forward to see what they'll send out next.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is not a time to panic by any means, right? This is such an early state in the crew battle. But I want to point out, especially a trend that we've noticed from watching the varsity team, actually, is how pivotal this moment can actually be, because it's uncomfortably often that our varsity team finds ways to, you know, win the first set, have one stock remaining, and take like one or two stocks in the next matchup before ultimately going down. Sometimes even three, right? And they're unable to even put that last remaining stock down. So while it's not scary per se, it's certainly very important to go in and clean this up now without getting too messy.
For sure, because once you take that first game, no matter how many stocks you have left, you're setting the pace. You are forcing the opponent to play your game. It turns into, I guess, sort of a counter-pick war. So once you take that first game, you kind of try to force maybe either the better players or like the more their characters that have really rough matchups into like your team. Let's say like you're playing like a team of like Jigglypuff and like, let's say like Banjo or something, characters that lose to like really big disjoints, and you're trying your best to just scare the Cloud in to just take him out. Then you send in your counter pick versus the Cloud. Then your other characters in that roster that would otherwise lose to him will have a lot more breathing room, a lot more wiggle room to perform.
Yeah, and now we are getting a little sneak preview of the next matchup. I believe it will be Trypophobia on Bowser. So I'm curious, because against a Cloud, right, Bowser is one big, fast hitbox that can control a lot of space. So how do you feel about Trip's odds of taking this stock without too much issue?
I feel like there are a decent amount of opportunities that Trip can get here. Trying to get the tough guy in the uppie. I've never seen that before. Oh my goodness! Holy cow! I've never seen that before.
Yeah, tough guy mechanics certainly create certain very pleasant interactions, at least when it happens on our side.
Anyway, what I was trying to say before is that maybe Trip can get a very lucky. Oh my goodness! Never mind.
Wow.
Before I can say anything, Trypophobia is smelling the fear from Lamp. It's anticipating the roll in after the flame breath. Oh my goodness! You can see Trypophobia and the rest of the Academy Smash team so fired up. The energy just going through the roof right now.
I'm certainly no lip reader, but I believe Tripophobia behind us just said, "Call me Barnes and Noble." And I'm not an English major either, but I believe that's referring to how hard of a read that was. That was very impressive. You said it, really smelling the fear in that moment, knowing that, and most players in that sort of panicky situation tend to try to get behind the Bowser, and sure enough, Trip was more than ready for it.
Right, and again, just the energy levels are through the roof once again. Maybe that was needed for a situation like that to take back that momentum. Tripophobia making quick work of the lamp on the cloud. Just the sheer fear that he put out against him. I'm starting a little bit. That's left me so speechless. The read was so ambitious that no normal player would ever see that coming, but Tripophobia just on a different level of getting those reads. It is honestly incredible.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about, though. That's what needs to happen in a situation like that, right? You go down or you go in needing to take one stock and just clean up, tie the game out, and sure enough, I mean, if you're going to do it, that's a heck of a way to do it, because all of a sudden this goes from an even game to an even game with a lot of momentum, right? That's a heck of a way, you said it, to bring the energy up, to fire up all these players behind us, and now Otterbein has to send in a player cold into a fresh 3 stocks on this Bowser.
Right, and even though the stocks say otherwise, the momentum, I would say, is very much in Shenandoah's favor right now. Just, again, with that amazing read, just the energy levels through the roof. I imagine for Tripophobia, his confidence level is just through the roof right now, getting that amazing read. But I do believe from our preview, from our broadcast crew, the other team, Otterbein, is sending in Sky on Mewtwo. Now, that's a character you don't see very often at all. I would say Mewtwo is probably one of the least common characters in this entire game. Such a volatile character, has some pretty big hitboxes, has some decent kill power, a really good projectile, and a reflector. Also a way to stun as well. This character is very versatile with the options he has, but very light, but also a very big body, because little known fact for maybe some casual players, Mewtwo has that big tail hurt box. You can very much take advantage of that as Tripophobia just smelling the fear from Sky, trying to get those grabs as Sky is getting those. Oh my god, I almost have it again. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Tripophobia, I mean, just taking control right now, not letting Sky breathe. This has been a strong showing, looking for a lot more there, trying to get the roll read off the platform. But so far, so much aggression from this Bowser, and that's what we expect to see, right? A heavyweight with the amount of speed and control that Bowser can have over any stage, man. This is getting ridiculous. Tripophobia throwing smash attacks out, and Sky just finding their way into them.
Yeah, amazing awareness from Tripophobia there. That covered maybe like a couple options there. Maybe either the roll or, in this case, Sky trying to fight their way back onto the stage, but miscalculated with the forward air as Bowser profiles that a little bit, trying to get another cheeky up smash. Wasn't going to kill a 33 though. Sky getting a little ambitious with these edge guards. Oh my goodness, the fear. Oh my goodness, trying to get a shield break from Tripophobia, but not quite spacing the down B of the other shield, racking up a little more damage. Mewtwo, so light, basically at kill percent here, one of the lightest characters in the game, and then you have Bowser, the heaviest character in the game, with nearly max rage.
Yeah, this is where you need to really start thinking forward if you are an Otterbein player, right? 160%, you really need to take this stock, but it looks like they won't. A forward tilt right to the face will put that stock down, and 160%, just like that, is completely wiped away.
And the momentum just keeps rolling, Chris. This game is starting to snowball a little bit as Tripophobia, taking 4 stocks, hasn't lost a single one yet.
Yeah, and again, that percentage, all that work that Sky on the Mewtwo just put in is now erased, right? It's as if that match didn't even happen, because Tripophobia is going to go into this next match at 0% and 3 stocks. who cares, right?
Yeah.
That's such a big deal. And I mean, I was starting to say it. You got to start thinking down the line, right? It was certainly looking like Sky was not going to win that matchup, but you got to be able to take as many stocks as possible, right? Kevin, it's Kevin's catchphrase on the desk. Stocks are your lifeline in this crew battle setting. So walking away with 0 stocks is really not where you'd like to be, but Shenandoah is hot and rolling right now.
For sure. And if you're Otterbein, I'm not sure how you would want to respond here. We did see some signs of life from Lamp the Cloud, but we'll have to see who they respond with. Maybe some hard counters, maybe a Pikachu or something to deal with the Bowser. Maybe a smaller character to kind of move around Bowser's big hitboxes. But we'll just have to see.
Right, yeah, this is the scary part, again, of what we mentioned before the series. We don't really know what characters Otterbein has in store, right? So we can only really speculate on play styles that can deal with Bowser, but it's looking like we're getting into game here soon, potentially, maybe not. But the character on our screen right now is Dark Pit, which is not exactly a small, fast character, but has combo strings that can work with a heavy character like Bowser.
The pits can be described as jack-of-all-trade characters, and I would say they're kind of fast. They have some decent ground speed. Has maybe not the best air speed, but that is compensated by the multiple jumps they have. Trying to get the grab, down throw, nair, trying to rack up a little bit of damage. No gas. Yeah. Ironically, stepping on the gas with the aggression here. Very ironic, but I think it's very... But Tripophobia not willing to step on no brakes on either of these players, as they're both just trying to do as much as they can to rack up the percent, try to get that advantageous position. The 360 arrows, look at the despite what the stock count may say, no gas, very confident in their play, trying to get the jump read with that back air, but Brock shaping a little bit with the down air. Tripophobia doing a great job of holding that center stage as he gets the forward throw. How will no gas react to his ledge trap? And oh my goodness, barely living that up to a great DI from no gas.
Yeah, this matchup already feels so much different than the last one, but at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't. Just raw up smashes coming out again for Tripophobia, but I mean, like I was saying, this does already feel like a significantly different matchup than what we just watched, and if you're Otterbein, that's really what you need. You need to be able to shake off that last game and move on, because you've got a big hole to climb out of. And so far, No Gas has gotten 120% on this Bowser, but that's a heavyweight character, right? He is certainly not going to go down easy, and you got to be careful shielding against a character like that. A fully charged forward smash, 30% on the ledge will do it. 2 stocks down, and once again, Tripophobia finds himself with 3 stocks remaining and 1 more to take on this player. He might just take 7 in a row here.
I love how Tripophobia is playing, really leaning into that raid boss playstyle that Bowser can really lean into, which is how fast he is. His amazing move speed. Unfortunate missing the tech there as the Sour Spot down air takes the kill there. But if you're Tripophobia, I would not be sweating at all, considering this is about to be this might be his 7th stock while only losing a single one.
Yeah, you have to think this is the 3rd player that Tripophobia has now encountered, and that's the first stock we just watched him lose through all 3 of them. And again, a forward tilt on the ledge. Easy peasy, says Tripophobia, as now 1 player remaining for Otterbein has to take down this raging Bowser.
Yeah, at this point, Chris, I'm not sure how you respond to that. Just... Even if you take out the Bowser, you still have to deal with 2 other players on the side of Shenandoah. So if you're Otterbein, I'm not sure how you would try to salvage this.
Yeah, it's hard to draw up a game plan for dealing with 8 stocks straight, right? There's not exactly a textbook answer to this situation, but I mean, it's possible, right? That's not to say it hasn't happened. It's just hard to plan around. You need someone to go in and kind of pull off a miracle, right? It's hard to take out 3 players. We just saw Tripophobia go on a run here, but that's not to say that there's not a player on Otterbein that can't do the same thing. And we don't know who that character is. It's God knows, right? Like, it could literally be anybody on the roster minus the 3 characters we've already seen. So we'll see, right? But if this other team has done their research on Shenandoah, it'll be interesting to see if they know what characters could be coming out after Trypophobia, because that's about all the planning ahead that you can really do in this situation.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, you try to, well, obviously you try to take out Trypophobia as you get a little, lean a little closer to the end goal of taking out their team. But that might not be as likely in this scenario, so maybe you try to just scout out as much information you can and try to just take that information into the next game.
Right, and that's a great point, because honestly, it's hard to think ahead and develop a strategy for players that aren't out yet, because ultimately the problem is right in front of you. Like, you need to be able to take out Trypophobia on this Bowser before anything else even matters. So we are getting our preview once more. It does sound like it will be Dane playing Corrin to try to deal with this Trypophobia Bowser. And I mean, Swordies have their place in this game, right? And against Bowser, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Corrin is a bit of a unorthodox swordie compared to some other sword characters. A lot of the sword characters, they tend to just hold down the neutral, try just not very combo heavy. They don't really have many combos, but what they have strengths in their neutral and just keeping the space, the distance between you and your opponent. They made that very potent mid-range. But for Corrin's case, you want to have more of a combo-based swordie, while also trying to keep up those frame traps. While Bowser very well can struggle to land. He does have that down air and down B, but very easy to telegraph and very easy to punish. So Dane, I do like the pick from Otterbein here, sending Dane here, though I'm not too sure about this stage pick for Final Destination, because if you're a character like Corrin who benefits so much from juggling, just trying to your best to keep your opponent in the air, there's no platforms to work with, there's no platforms to extend your combos. Oh my goodness, the jab block. I thought it was going to be another read there, Chris. Oh, misses the up B. How unfortunate. And just like that, Trypophobia about to take, might be able to take his 10 stock. Oh no, he's going for it.
No, yeah.
Not again.
Yeah, Trypophobia is in a state right now, and sure enough, gets the side B on the ledge, taking Corrin down with him. We see Willie do it on Varsity. We've got a replacement here on Academy. Trypophobia taking Dane all the way down to the blast zone and putting, what, 9-10 stocks away?
Yeah.
For SU here in set number 1. They will take the lead.
Yeah, and as funny as the last interaction there was, it does make sense.
Yeah, it's
you're in such a big lead. They only have 1 stock left. Normally, even if you have the lead in a situation like that, and they still have like a player or 2 left, you still don't want to take that stock that way. But if it's down to their last player and their last stock, it's completely valid to just throw one of your stocks away in exchange for their last one.
Exactly. Yeah, SU really had nothing to lose in that situation, with Trypophobia still having another stock after that, right? If that was his last stock, different story, because Bowser dies first, so would not work. But I mean, you said it. It's it's funny, it's gimmicky, but it is smart in a situation like this. So well done there by Trypophobia, taking 10 stocks after Kenza goes in and takes 2 to start. So now we're left with a question, right? Otterbein, now in a 0-1 deficit, has learned quite a bit about this SU roster, but at the same time hasn't learned very much because they only played against 2 players.
So as far as team strategy goes for next game, it is hard to say how this will go. I feel like if I were Otterbein, I would try to strategize around Trypophobia as much as possibly could, because as far as they know, they only know 2 players in Kenza and Trypophobia. They haven't seen the back line of Shenandoah Academy's roster. So I feel like you just try your best to take out what seems to be the main threat right now in the form of Trypophobia on this very potent and very scary Bowser. So I feel like you might want to send in Lamp on the Cloud once again, as that player seems to show the most promise for taking the most stocks on the side of Otterbein.
Yeah, I think I agree, and you know, it's hard to predict who Shenandoah would put in first, right? We talk about it up here sometimes. It's if you're the winning player, or the winning team, I should say, not a ton of reason to change your game style or your game plan. And especially when you're winning that commandingly, right? A final score of 7-0, and that only being 7 because Tripophobia threw himself off the stage, right? That's a big deficit, and something drastic needs to change. If you're SU, I don't see the need to really flip anything.
Yeah, Shenandoah, I can hear the voices in the back. They are so confident in the way they're playing. They have so much trust in each other. Their energy levels are just through the roof right now, as Tripophobia is just putting a show on for his team. And they are very much entertained by that gameplay. And we'll have to see if they'll send in Tripophobia again. But I do believe from our previews that we are sending Kenza on the side of Shenandoah to start with, which is a very reliable pick. Kenza pretty much solidified himself to be the starter for Shenandoah Academy.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense, right? We said that it doesn't make a ton of sense to really change your game plan up too drastically, but I want to take another moment to highlight how important this matchup is for Shenandoah, because, you know, it's fun to watch players go out and perform like we just saw Tripophobia do, but SU is 3-3 in their group right now. This is a pretty pivotal matchup,
for sure.
And I don't want to say a must-win, but you really want to win this one if you're Shenandoah to move to potentially 4-3. So you're right. I think it will be Kenza going out first on the Fox again, as we, I believe, saw potentially Dark Pit coming out first for Otterbein.
So we did see the Dark Pit as well. I'm blanking on their tag right now. I'm very sorry. But
no gas.
No gas. Correct. Yeah. So I believe so. I think their game plan there was maybe No Gas felt the most confident versus Tripophobia and Bowser. Maybe Lamp on the Cloud maybe felt a little too scared of Bowser's 2-frame opportunities with the Fire Breath, with the very potent F-Tilt that Tripophobia keeps landing to secure those stocks and get those 2 frames. So very understandable on the side of Otterbein. So maybe they were expecting them to start Tripophobia, on the Bowser once again. So maybe they try to send in the Dark Pit. Maybe they're the most confident.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Only Otterbein knows what's going on in that room, right? But I think that makes sense, right? Trying to throw the Dark Pit out to potentially try to take out Tripophobia if they keep the hot hand in, but SU not falling for it, sticking to their guns and saying, hey, Kenza is a great player. We're going to go send out the feeler once more, learn as much as we can before the rest of the series, the rest of the set breaks out.
For sure. It's definitely important. Very, not very much talked about topic about crew battles is more so like the roles. You have seen this through our varsity roster. You do send in me. Weird to say. I'm not just gonna speak through third person, but sending myself as the most solidified starter on the roster, and then we do have a solidified anchor as well in the form of Willie. So it's very important for a team to establish those roles, especially if you're playing weekly, like in our situation over here in our NACE pool. So it's very important for our Academy team to set their roles, and it looks like they are setting those roles, as Kenza being the starter of the roster, and we do have, I believe, Robot Ninja on the Cloud as the solidified anchor as well.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen on broadcast in the past, right? It's usually been Kenza going out first. Last week it was the Me Brawler instead of the Fox. So character diversity in your starter, your opener, is certainly a nice thing to have. Never a bad thing. But then, yeah, that anchor presence can be, can make or break games, really. We've seen all kinds of anchors in our time here, right? We're so used to our team. We've played against so many other teams. We've broadcasted so many other matches, and the anchor can really serve so many different purposes, usually dependent on a play style. But it's nice to have a very solid player in that anchor position as we prepare for set number 2 here of Shenandoah versus Otterbein University. It will be this Dark Pit once more trying to take out Kenza once again, but Kenza, with anything to say about it, will try to take as many stocks as possible to maybe show up Tripophobia, a little in-team competition here.
For sure, Chris. And for the first time, we've seen Battlefield in this set. Maybe trying to get a little more platform extensions, maybe through some up air ladders from Kenza. I am curious to see how that banning process went, and see what who banned what stage. I see you ban a PS2, or just maybe it's a, new form of stage comfortability.
Yeah, so far, Otterbein really controlling the stage, right? This player has exerted their dominance so far with all of the arrows and, just generally spacing attacks. But Kenza has found his way in there a couple times, getting this Dark Pit all the way over 100%, right? This is scary because we talked last set, taking that first stock is not the game, but it certainly helps to build momentum in a very momentum-based game.
For sure, and Kenza trying to find those openings with that side B. Not going to get anything off it, though. Ron Spacey to get those kind of openings with it. Trying to get the landing read. Whoa. Oh my goodness, some shenanigans with these panic spot dodges as they both want to take this first stock to forever set the pace of this group battle. But I wouldn't say forever, as anything can happen in a game like Smash. And trying to get this edge guard, not going to quite do it. No tech chase. How's... Oh my goodness, here we go again with the spot dodges. Both players, they both want this so badly, but showing a little bit of fear as they both want to hold on to their stocks. Not going to quite space the up smash. Not the quite correct timing.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you, we just saw Dark Pit go for a down air, and sure enough, we'll see it again. I was just about to ask about that move. Dark Pit down air, or I guess the Pit's down air, is not very good, is it?
It's, weirdly enough, it's one of those down airs that has a very specific sweet spot, and that sweet spot is the spike hitbox. The sour spot is more so, it's one of those weird moves because, like I said before, it has that very small sweet spot with the spike. But weirdly enough, in the lower percents, if you are trying to get a combo off, it is more optimal to get the sour spot as it sends almost directly upwards. So you do down throw into a sour spot down air into an air. So it's weird how that move is designed, but it ends up still working out anyway. But even with the inconsistent down air, I would still say the Pits have a pretty good edge guarding game with those multiple jumps and just lingering hitboxes. Look at these spot dodge shenanigans as Kenza gets these rapid jabs, overshooting a little bit with that up B and the correct punish from Kenza, trying to stuff out that Firefox. Oh my goodness. The bravery from Kenza there, trying to challenge that electroshock. Great. Oh no, not getting the turnaround on the punish there, but had the right idea. Great stall. The recovery mix-up from Kenza. How is he going to respond to this last hit? Maybe not potential last hit, but their kill percents are rising. The rage is stacking up. It's only a matter of time. These characters lose their stocks as Otterbein's no gas finds that stock on Kenza.
Yeah, wins the rock, paper, scissors matchup on that one from the ledge, right? Reads the roll, gets the smash attack, and puts that stock down. I do want to point out we're starting to see more. Oh, no. Oh, man. Kenza just unable to get back on that one. Looked like he side B'd maybe a little too late and sent himself too far below the stage to recover. And Kenza will go down, takes one stock. But now Shenandoah in a similar situation to last time, now with two stocks to get rid of to try to even up this game.
Yeah, and very unfortunate SD there from Kenza, but the ideas were there, trying to find those tech chases, but especially with with how inconsistent Smash Ultimate Wi-Fi could be, sometimes it's hard for you to get these tech chases. So in a format like this, for a character like Fox, it's definitely a little harder for him. but still the ideas were there. Just sometimes the timings for them, or those up smashes, just weren't there.
Yeah, it's hard to come out here and execute when the lights come on, right? This is live broadcast, and these are new players to our program. This academy team was an addition this semester, so these players have never been on a competitive Smash team before, and you're gonna. Everybody, when they're on a competitive team, makes hiccups like that. You have to get them out, but you're right. I would argue the more important part is that the ideas were there. The plan was there. It's just a matter of over time, they're going to get more comfortable actually being able to do it in very intense and close moments. So good stuff there from Kenza. Very strong player, takes one stock. But now SU puts their second player in. And last time, that went pretty well for SU.
Well, here's the thing. Last time we saw this situation, we sent Shenandoah sent Triphobia, excuse me. I do believe this time around Shenandoah is sending in Chiliad this time, and I do believe on the character select screen she did select the Kazuya, which is definitely something we have not seen before on an official broadcast. And to provide a little bit of context for this, Chiliad normally plays Joker, but has taken a liking to playing Kazuya and has gotten a little bit of Kazuya coaching from Willie on Shenandoah's varsity Smash team. So just like how you said, of trying to break those barriers, of trying to just get those nerves out, trying to just find that execution, I think this is a great example of that, as Chiliad does send in the Kazuya. Very excited to see how this one goes, Chris.
Yeah, we are loading into our next matchup here. As you said it, Chiliad will be the answer for Shenandoah. This Kazuya making its primetime debut for SU Academy. Now, we have our own history with a scary demon man on broadcast, right? We have seen borderline miraculous things from this character, and I certainly, Willie, I would argue, is truly one of one, especially in this program. But that is not to say that Chiliad cannot come out here and really put on a show. So we will see as they get their first grab and go for that electric, but it won't quite land just yet.
They're not quite getting the near frame perfect input that Electric Wind Godfist requires, but not quite getting the timing down anyway. As you can see, Chiliad maybe a little shooken up, maybe a little nervous with the introduction of the Kazuya, as Otterbein's No Gas tries to get that down here and not quite getting it though. But Kazuya, very heavy character, so there's some room for error with a character like Kazuya, and still not quite getting the Alexis just yet, but the damage is still racking up. And just as you can see, Kazuya just does such an immense amount of damage. Just those little hits, still doing like 17%. The Rage Drive is online, but it's a matter of just landing it versus a very jumpy character like Dark Pit. But that's not needed for the case of Chiliad, as she finds the up smash cross-cut with the auto turnaround.
Yeah, well done there from Chiliad, right? We said it, struggling to really get these electrics out, but ultimately finding the damage she needs to put that stock away. And now, up to 128%, you said the Rage Drive up, that kill button can do wonders. And at 0%, that's certainly something to be scared of. But Pit finding the grab there, going for the spike, but will not find it. And here come the combos. The first electric will land, and you said it, that input is borderline frame perfect. It's so tight to do that, and especially in an online setting. So Chiliad able to land that one, gets another one off there, but we will see if they're able to get this one remaining stock off No Gas.
For sure, and you can see No Gas, weirdly enough, letting go of the gas a little bit as they're trying to play a little bit defensive, just running away with those arrows. As I would be scared too if I had to fight Max Rage Kazuya, when if they execute correctly, you could just lose your stock just in a matter of seconds. Like Chiliad's trying to go for, not quite getting the read with that up smash a little bit too early. And let's see, getting that grab. Too much rage to get anything off of it, but No Gas does take the stock, but Chiliad still in a very comfortable position here.
Yeah, an unfortunate break there, but racked up a lot of percentage there and super armoring that one with that lovely Kazuya smash attack magic. Looking for an up smash there on the ledge. Again, we saw that work the first time, but won't work that time. So Chiliad's still just sort of struggling to get in, find a rhythm just yet. And No Gas has done a great job of just zoning Chiliad out, right? We see the grabs coming out and No Gas running away, right? Spacing this character out because that's what Kazuya struggles with. If you let this character get anywhere close to you, it can spell disaster before you even know that you got grabbed.
Right, and another scary thing is just electric and Godfist in neutral. We haven't really seen Chiliad go for many electrics in neutral, but it's such a scary tool considering when Kazuya does electric Godfist, he has full body invincibility, and even if you shield it, it's completely safe on shield. But catching the neutral getup with the F smash, incredible read from Chiliad, and with a very explosive entrance with the Kazuya.
I mean, wow, for a debut, first-time character on stream in competition, not too bad at all, right? That Dark Pit certainly caught their rhythm, realizing what they needed to do to deal with the Kazuya, but only losing one stock and going in and taking 2, not too shabby whatsoever.
Yeah, and if I were Otterbein, I would be thrown off for a loop completely.
Yeah.
For a character like Kazuya, it's such very uncommon for a level such as this for a game like Smash, because Kazuya is usually a character that requires a lot of technical practice, a lot of mechanical demands a lot of mechanical skill. So they must have been thrown off for a loop once he saw Chiliad throwing off, just showing off their practice that she's done over the past few weeks, as Willie has given her a little bit a little bit of coaching for Kazuya Mishima.
Yeah, right, yeah, and I mean, now it's the roulette, right? Otterbein has lost their first player, still with 3 players in reserve, and last time, at least assuming they only have those 4 players, they're down to a Cloud, a Mewtwo, or a Corrin. Now, with a anchor mentality, right? We talked about this sort of role within your team. I think we expect Corrin to probably still come out last, but I don't know. How do you feel like into a Kazuya? I would think Loki of those characters, Dark Pit probably had the best shot strictly matchup-wise.
I feel like maybe matchup-wise, you'd be surprised to find out that a character like Mewtwo actually does pretty solidly into Kazuya because of just how Disable works. Because how Disable works, if you throw, it's technically a projectile, but if you hit it right in front of Mewtwo and he's facing the same direction as you, you get stunned. And for a character like Kazuya, he's a fighting game character.
Oh, he's literally always facing you.
Yeah, so that's something that Willie has always complained to me about for a character like Mewtwo, is that he actually does not like fighting Mewtwo because he's forced to look at Mewtwo, which if for the counterplay for Mewtwo that's looking for Disable, you simply just look away from him.
Wow.
But if you're playing Kazuya, you
can't
literally
do that.
cannot.
That's so interesting.
As interesting as that is, we will not be seeing the Mewtwo, and we, as on the casting booth, will be thrown off for a loop as Otterbein sends in Sora, another character that's very uncommon at this level.
Yeah, wow. So Sora is a character that I will be the first to admit I still don't know a ton about. I don't entirely understand this character. So into Kazuya, I do know that Sora's very floaty and has a solid recovery, but I'm curious, like, with a sort of brawler bruiser that Kazuya is, how does the Sora match up into this?
I feel like the best Soras basically in the game, they try to play this kind of like very combo heavy, very like tech skill heavy Sora, because I'm trying to figure out how to word it here, but Sora, a very weird character in the way that he plays, and you may not see him as a very technical character, but in the highest of levels, he is going for a 10-hit combo, not going to connect though. Good DI from Asher on the Sora, but like I was saying before, Chris, Sora, you may be very surprised to find out that he's actually kind of technical, as to get his optimal combos, you will have to do these tech called instant double jumps, which is very important for Sora to do, but catching the landing down air with the dash attack. Asher trying to play this more, trying to grab Kazuya. Very, very brave indeed, but maybe it makes sense because Chiliad isn't really throwing out these electrics in neutral. Oh my goodness, trying to get that rate drive in, even though it won't kill it, that's just a free 40% in that back air. Doing another like 19%. That's what I was saying before, Chris. Kazuya, even if he gets those straight hits, not getting those zero deaths, he still does a ton of damage. So it doesn't matter as much if he can't get those zero deaths because he will find his way in and he will just get so much he will get so much credit for it.
Yeah, Kazuya's numbers are just absurd, borderline ridiculous, and we do see the electric land on that one. There was your electric in neutral, and sure enough, the up B out of the electric will secure that stock, and just like that, Shenandoah has taken a lead. That feels pretty good if you are Chiliad.
Yeah, and like you were saying before, electrics in neutral, maybe Chiliad trying to catch on to that a little bit. Just knowing how scary of a move that is, and how your opponent just is pretty much forced to respect it because of the full body invincibility. Our safety on shield, that down air, taking that stock there. Herbox shifting a little cheeky play there from Astro, but taking the boot with the F tilt from Chiliad and Kazuya, trying to zone out with those projectiles. Mondaga not quite used for up close combat, but trying to get that electric. Oh my goodness, these shenanigans with these shield drops. Trying to tough guy. Oh no!
Oh!
So let me explain what happened there.
Okay.
So that was new to me as well, but I can explain what happened. So
yeah,
what happened is Sora's side B, if you hold B, you see how the little like circle around Kazuya?
Yeah.
That means if the Sora player holds B while they're doing side B, it will lock on to the opponent. So they were just trying to hit Chiliad on Kazuya to just get her off of him, just to fight back to get back onto the corner. And on a normal character, that would have worked, but when Kazuya is in the middle of using one of his smash attacks, in this case that down smash, had that super armor.
Wow.
And even then, with the way that Astro was, the direction that Astro was homing in on Chiliad, it went through her and could not grab the ledge and SDing, unfortunately. It's one of the very weird things about Sora, but I'm just be first to say that character is just honestly pretty goofy.
Yeah.
Pretty silly.
And like Kazuya is baloney. To put it lightly, this character has so many ridiculous interactions, and again, that super armor on that smash attack, right? That down smash is a spike off the ledge and gives him super armor. I don't know, man.
Oh, it also does a ton of
headache.
shield damage. It could break shields as well.
Yeah. Anyway, and he's a heavyweight. So, with all that behind us now, Chiliad with one stock remaining and a one stock lead over this Otterbein roster, we are now loading into the next matchup, and sure enough, look at those pearly whites on my screen. Donkey Kong has entered the scene.
Yeah, and like I keep saying, Chris, we keep getting thrown out for a loop here because we went from like Cloud, Mewtwo, and I believe to characters like Donkey Kong and Sora.
Yeah, and this, I want to point out, this is Sky. This is the player that played Mewtwo in the last set. So we will know that or at least don't expect to see a Mewtwo come out from another player from Otterbein, but interesting change there, and especially after that interaction you talked about. This is the Mewtwo player opting to not pick Mewtwo into Kazuya, but getting that grab from Donkey Kong, carrying Chiliad well off stage, but Chiliad with that gorgeous recovery that Kazuya has, among so many other things that I can sit here and complain about. But so far, getting a lot of damage. Donkey Kong throwing those smash attacks out, right? A lot of reads throughout this set from both teams. Hard reads off ledge. The kill button comes out at the ledge the other direction. 40%, guess what?
No.
But the Donkey Punch makes its way out, and Donkey Kong finding that stock, tying the game up, and 6-6 will be the story going forward.
Chiliad having a taste of her own medicine. Sky with the Donkey Kong taking advantage of that giant punch with the super armor to take that stock, just like Chiliad has done in the past with those Super Mario forward smashes and those Super Mario down smashes as well. It's just very funny that that's how she went out. With something that she's done many times in the past.
Yes. Now I'm curious. SU has an opportunity to do a pretty funny thing here because we have another very large heavyweight character in reserves because we just watched it take 10 stocks last set. And personally, selfishly, I would love to watch a Bowser versus Donkey Kong matchup right about now. I don't know if that's like the optimal decision or if it's what SU even really has dialed up if they want to get other players in, knowing what Trypophobia was just able to do last time he was put in. But man, would I love to watch that.
Yeah, and that is very interesting to bring up, Chris, because I feel like there are a few picks you can bring here because I feel like low-key, will number 5 on the Ganondorf because I believe I said this on a previous broadcast. Ganondorf actually does not do too badly versus other heavies, and Donkey Kong is one of those heavies, just being able to contest with those buttons. But unfortunately, I am wrong on this. I do believe from our preview, we are on the side of Shenandoah. We are sending in Robot Ninja on the Cloud, and that's very interesting to me because I don't think I've seen Robot Ninja be sent in any role that isn't him anchoring.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I have not seen that either. We certainly have not seen that on stream. So an interesting choice here from SU to send out the heavyweight final hitter in third for Shenandoah. But Cloud is the answer. So we're getting ready to get into our third matchup here, and Cloud, I would think, could kind of run circles around Bowser. I shouldn't say run circles. It's not like Cloud is super fast, but that sword, the distance and all-around combo game and safetiness that is Cloud, I would think Cloud comes out ahead in this matchup-wise.
You'd be interesting enough.
Tell me I'm wrong, Kyle.
Interesting enough, there are some Cloud players I see this matchup's kind of losing, not because of like the on-stage presence, because on the on-stage presence, Cloud definitely just kind of just runs over Donkey Kong with those hitboxes, and even though Donkey Kong does have bigger hitboxes, Cloud does have like similar hitboxes, but they're just a lot faster and just has way better neutral than Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong just pretty much thrives on his amazing advantage state, but Cloud is one of those characters that could take advantage of those really bad disadvantage states, and Donkey Kong, I would say, have one of the worst disadvantage states in the game. But what makes this matchup so volatile is that cargo throw. Let's say in this situation,
like this.
Are we going to see it? Oh, no. Get in the back there to take the stock anyway, but I do want to bring up that something that Robin Ninja should be cautious about is that cargo throw. If Sky were to get that cargo throw and to simply just run off the stage, it'd be very hard for Robin to make it back onto the stage, as Cloud has a very linear recovery, and even with a jump left, if Robin Ninja doesn't have limit, that's Cloud stock pretty much gone. And that's what makes this matchup so volatile, is just that if Donkey Kong gets that grab on Cloud, he could just take that stock very early, depending on how well the Cloud player mashes to break out the throw.
Yeah, that is actually really interesting and something I hadn't considered. But yeah, Cloud's up B is really good on stage, you know, up B, out of shield, classic, whatever. But off stage, that move is like really bad. It's not a good recovery. You said it, very linear, very limiting. No pun intended, but we do see Robot Ninja able to get the back air there, baiting the Donkey Kong in. And I do want to shout out Sky here on this Donkey Kong. This has been significantly different from what we watched in set number 1. Sky got 3-stocked on the Mewtwo, so maybe that pick, or that switch, really was the ticket, because this has looked successful so far, but now here comes that Robot Ninja value, right? Cloud really settling in here, finding that damage and taking 2 stocks so far, and now up to over 100% is the Donkey Kong, struggling to get back on stage, struggling to really get anything, as the limit broken neutral B will send Donkey Kong off stage once more. And just can't get there.
Just amazing light shots from Robin. It's just very good patience. Maybe not. Sometimes when you're light trapping, you don't have to play very like preemptive base and try to just guess where they're going. Depending on the situation, you could play much more reactionary, just like how Robin Ninja was doing right there, just standing at that effective range on the corner, just to one, not get hit by Donkey Kong's Gab attack, which is a pretty big Gab attack. He's going to take his fist onto the ground. It's just a huge hitbox just to get you off. But while also just waiting for an option. Donkey Kong, the neutral Gab, got dash attacked, jumped, I think also got dash attacked. I think might have caught his jump if I may remember correctly. But yeah, Otterbein down to their last player, and Robot Ninja showing some great gameplay outside of his main role.
Yeah, and this will be interesting too. I mean, you said it, main role that Robot Ninja is used to is the anchor position, and now we expect the one remaining player from Otterbein to be their anchor from set number 1, this Corrin player. So, should be a heck of a matchup that we're about to watch here, but Robot Ninja now down a stock in this matchup at least, right? He did lose that first stock to the DK off the back throw. So, 2 stocks into 3, anchor into anchor, should make for some pretty entertaining Smash Bros.
Though, interesting enough, we haven't seen the Cloud yet from Otterbein. Right. But I think from what we are getting from our previews here, Lamp he's the Cloud player, not going Cloud. He is going Pit, which on an outsider's perspective, you may think that's not allowed because NACE rules state that you can't play two players playing the same character in a crew battle, but technically Pit and Dark Pit are different characters. They have different portraits on the character select screen, as Dark Pit is considered an Echo Fighter, basically a character that's very similar, like almost one-to-one similar to their counterpart, but they have a few extra differences. Like, for example, they have 2 differences. One is their arrows. Pits are a lot weaker, but he has much more control over them, so they could be maybe used for like edge guarding. But for Pits, Dark Pits, it's more for like damage and the angles of their side Bs. Dark Pits is very good for killing out the sides. Some would say it's a lot better move than Pit's normal one, as it goes off the top. But Lamp anchoring with the Pit. We'll have to see how this goes, as they have to take 5 stocks from Shenandoah with Tripophobia in the back. That's such a scary thing to think about, Chris.
Yeah, Otterbein with their series lives on the line right now. 1 player remaining, tasked with taking out 2 players from SU if they want to extend this series to a set number 3. We will see. But so far, Lamp need to get over the hurdle right ahead of him. So that hurdle is Robot Ninja, traditionally SU's anchor player on this Cloud. A very strong player, well-rounded and smart. So far, though, struggling to get in against this Cloud.
And as I was saying before, Chris, those arrows just giving Robot Ninja pretty much a hard time recovering, trying to clip that limit up B to just to maybe steal jump with an edge guard with the Pit arrows, as that's basically its main use, and trying to rack up the damage as the rage is building up for Robot Ninja, trying to get those two frames with those dash attacks, but catching the ledge regrab from Lamp. The Orbitar is such a good move. You might think that even though they're reflectors, they do way more than just reflecting. They're essentially another shield, basically an air shield that Pit can use. And with how big those, like, I guess those shield boxes are, whatever you want to call them, even though they may only hit the sides, they're huge. And sometimes, even if you want to hit him from above him or below him, sometimes the side Orbitars would take priority over the move and just eat the move, and Pit would take no damage.
Yeah, and this is an interesting situation for Shenandoah. I want to take us back to set number 1 real quick. That Lamp on their Cloud in set 1 was the only player from Otterbein to take more than 1 stock. So, with 5 stocks to take and 1 already down, they took 3 stocks last set. So, 5 is... I mean, I'm no mathematician, but 5 is only 2 more than 3. So far, strong start, but they do lose their first stock, so 2 stocks remaining and 4 stocks still ahead of them. Not a terrible place to be, but, I mean, still a tall order, and sure enough, wow, that is catastrophic for Lamp, losing that stock with the air dodge, unable to make it back to the ledge.
Yeah, and how unfortunate indeed. They really need that last stock to have a chance of Shenandoah's last player, who is very likely to be Trypophobia. But as you can see, maybe Lamp losing a little bit of confidence there, maybe a little rattled from that SD as the percents are starting to even up. Robin Ninja stepping on the gas a little bit, catching those whips with those up Bs out of shield. Not quite getting the ledge trap there, and we'll just have to see how this goes. Catching the zoning option with the forward air, and the stocks are, the percents are rising. Not quite getting that stock. Oh my goodness. Remember, there's very, once Cloud gets that limit, he takes a little bit, he does more damage at least, but the limit cross slash, untechable at that range, and taking the stock and the set and the series for Shenandoah Academy.
Yeah, SU Academy's anchor doing anchor things, right? He's a closer. He gets the job done when he needs to take those 3 stocks right in front of him with only 2 stocks of his own. A great play on that second stock from the pit to really sort of gimp out that stock early against a character with a great recovery. That's a big deal, and sure enough, too much for Lamp to recover from, or to bounce back from in the match as a whole, and SU walks away winners, right? 2-0. That's that.
Yeah, and yeah, that should be it for their NACE pool. Ending their pool 4-3. Not bad for their first showing in a semester. You know, some teams, when it's their first time to compete, they might not do as well as they hope, but really that's fine, because they're trying to find out how to work together, because they've only been together for a few months now, only a semester, but I feel like they're only going to be getting better starting next semester when they have the chance to compete again.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see this team develop, and you know, we mentioned it earlier just this show that this was an addition after the semester started for us. This was something that really nobody in the program saw coming. So for this team to really show out in their group, right, go over 500, 4-3 final record, and I believe either 3rd or 4th overall in that group standing. Hey, not too bad. Out of 8, that's very exciting, and especially as these players, you said it, have never competed before and only have room to grow. I'm very excited for the future of this team, but I do believe that will do it for us here, however. So, with all that said, thank you so much for watching, right? Be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you may be watching on so that you never miss out on any future esports action here at Shenandoah. So, thank you once more. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Game.